Let me ask you something real quick. How much interest did your bank pay you last month? Go ahead, I'll wait. But if you're like most people, it's a number that's so small that it doesn't even really register. Basically, fractions of a percent. Meanwhile, the bank is taking your deposits, lending them out at 7, 8, 9% interest, and keeping the difference every single month while you work hard. And that's not a bank, that's a silent business partner who takes the profits and cuts you a check for nothing. Now, here's what I did instead. I paid my mortgage not from a bank account, but from my brokerage account. And this is the second month in a row where I paid my bills from the same account where my ETFs are compounding daily, the same account that pays dividends weekly and monthly, and the same account that earns 3.3% in the SPAC on idle cash while it waits to be deployed. But the bad news is that most people don't even know that this is possible, and most would never do it. This video is not for most people. Now, if you're still watching, you're already different. You're not the person who accepts 0.05 or whatever banks are offering as a savings rate and calls it being responsible. You're also not the person who waits until retirement to think about passive income. You're the person who looked at how money actually works and decided to be on the right side of the dollar. That's who this channel is built for. This is built for the person who maybe a 1099 earner, does inspections, might work in real estate, or have a million side hustles like I did. And instead of spending every dollar they make, they're building a system that pays them back month after month, whether they work that day or not. Now, if that's not you or not you yet, it can be, but you have to decide that first. The decision is the first step. Now, let me show you what the transformation actually looks like because I'm living it in real time on this channel right in front of you guys. So 10 weeks ago, this account had $50 in it. Now, obviously, I've deposited money and my account is not paying me that much dividends. However, I'm still building this system. And this month, my mortgage got paid from my brokerage account. So the dividends are hidden from three separate positions. We've got JEPI, XPay, and SPY, for a few account SPACs. And it's all automatically reinvested through drip before I even open the app. So my idle cash is earning 3.3%. The account is a living, breathing financial system at this point. It's probably not breathing, but it operates whether I'm working or not. And here's the mechanic simply explained. So the ETFs hold value. Fidelity lets me borrow against that value short term, typically days, not weeks. And then I cover my mortgage, other bills that I pay monthly. And then the next income deposit clears that margin balance, i.e. the interest cost, which is literally cents. And the best thing about it is the shares never moved. The dividends never stopped and the compounding never paused. And that's the transformation from money sitting in a bank doing nothing to money working, borrowing, paying bills, and compounding simultaneously all in one account. Now, the dividends this week, they were a few dollars. They're not life-changing, but more than my bank ever paid me, and they compound every single month into more shares that earns more dividends. The math doesn't care about your patience, it just runs. Now, this part is specifically for a certain kind of person. If you're not a real estate investor or a serious cash buyer, this section can still be worth watching because understanding deal flow is understanding how real wealth gets built. But if you are, pay close attention. I actively source off-market properties in Georgia for myself and other investors. Deals that never touch the MLS, motivated sellers, distress situations, pre-foreclosures, people who need solutions, not just listings. This week, a lot of deals got pushed through OfferProp. I work with them and helping dispo their deals that they have on their platform. Link in the description for that. And they got snatched up immediately by other investors. We went through a lot of deals this week. Unfortunately, mine were a little slow getting to the finish. And I want to be straightforward about that because this channel doesn't hide anything. But here's what that proved. The demand is violent and good deals disappear in hours. So the investors winning in this market are the ones who are already pre-approved or liquid. They're decisive and ready to close. So if that's you, let me tell you what I bring to the table. So for my cash buyers, I find undervalued and off-market properties before anyone else sees them. Just clean, fast closings with no MLS competition. So this can be your turnkey rental properties or something that you might be looking to burr into. For my fix and flip investors, I bring deals where the numbers already pencil. The ARVs are on point. Now you will have to get your contractor bids because I'm not a licensed general contractor, but I can help with market absorption and any other numbers that are needed to verify this deal. All done before we ever talk about it. And last but not least, my creative finance investors. So subject to seller financing, hybrid structures, lease options. This is where I do my best work. Sellers with problems that cash can't always solve. You bring the structure, I bring the deal and we both win. I'm also a licensed agent in Georgia working retail transactions, first time home buyers, investment acquisitions through the MLS, traditional listings. If you need an agent who thinks like an investor, that's a rare combination, and that's what I offer. The market is constantly moving regardless of what you see on social media. Everyone has to live somewhere, so this market affects all of us. And whether you're looking for your next investment property, first home, or mad at your neighbor because they play their music loud on Tuesday nights and just looking for somewhere else to rent, I can help you navigate that journey so you don't have to do it alone. This is pretty much my system and how I approach it. You tell me what you're looking for, I source it, and I vet the deal before I send you anything. I send it to you to review. You decide how you want to move forward, and we go forward with closing. So my contact information can be found in the link in the description below. Reach out and let's find you something. Now, here's the tool that ties everything together. Running this strategy manually is exhausting, and most of us have multiple income sources hitting at all different times. Percentage of each is going into investing. We're putting the percentage to taxes, as you probably should. Talk to your CPA. Bills paid from margin, if you're at that level. Dividends reinvesting, portfolio growing. There's a lot. You got tax deadlines approaching, and you tracking all of that across spreadsheets, note apps, memories, and sheets of paper that you can't find when it's time to pay your power bill. And that's where most people fall off. Not because the strategy doesn't work. It does. But because the operational overhead of running it manually creates friction. And friction kills consistency. And as we said on this channel before, consistency is the entire game. And that's exactly why I'm building Divider. So Divider is an income and portfolio manager built specifically for variable income earners running a dividend investing strategy like ourselves. So that's gig workers, 1099 contractors, real estate agents, investors, people whose income doesn't come in on a predictable schedule, but whose financial goals are as just serious as anyone with a salary. And here are the features that just got added this week. I'm still working some of the kinks out as I go along. We've got the Insights. So the Insights is an AI-powered insight engine. It allows Divider to analyze your last 90 days of income, expenses, and portfolio data and deliver a plain English insight about your actual financial picture, not just generic advice. Your data, and it's all protected and encrypted, so no worries about any of that data getting into the wrong hands, which brings me to today's sponsor. Nah, I'm just kidding. You thought I was about to do that. We don't have any sponsors out here, but that'd have been a good spot to plug that. You can also go ask it questions directly, like when do I hit $500 a month in dividends, and it answers based on your real numbers. I just got to link my actually let's do a test. How soon will I reach $500 in dividends? Now I had some problems with the AI, so let's see if it works. Yep, and it's still not configured right now. But that is also a work in progress. I want to show you everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then we've also got our quarterly tax estimator. So this is the number one blind spot for most 1099 workers, or even if you've got a W-2 and you filed exempt for too long and forgot to turn it back on, and now you owe the IRS thousands of dollars because you forgot. Divider now calculates your estimated quarterly tax obligation in real time. So self-employment tax, federal tax, state tax if that's applicable where you live, with the countdown timers for each IRS deadline and the one-tap set-aside now function here. So no more April surprises when you're expecting a check and you get a bill. And then if you go back over here, we've also got the net worth tracker. Now this is the simple, just your asset minus liabilities. It's not anything too fancy. But this does get updated automatically with a history chart showing the trend over time. Now, this is the number that tells you how you're actually doing financially. And then if we go over here to goals, we can set some goals. You just tap the button over here, put in what you want to set for this month, 6 months, how long you want to track it, where you want it to come out of, what allocation bucket, all of that just placed out right here. And this shows you your dividend income milestones as well. Stuff like your portfolio value targets, down payment goals, each one with a progress bar, a projected completion date based on your actual contribution rate, and a little confetti celebration when you get there. Now, we also have a subscription tracker, and this shows you every reoccurring charge that you have in your account. So right now, it's showing that my dividends are actually subscriptions, which technically it kind of is, the drip, but it's also showing, what would you know, my mortgage. So, like I said, this shows you the recurring charges that you have in your account. So, your total monthly and annual subscriptions, spend, and a flag button for anything that you want to cancel. Now, it doesn't cancel it automatically, but it does flag it, and it will remind you if you flag it to be canceled and you don't. So, it will remind you. That is how that's useful. And this is the feature that makes people realize that they still paying for those at Hulu and HBO that you thought you forgot last month because she left. I know because I've been a victim of that myself. Now, income forecasting. Now, the income forecasting is based on your income history, and Divider predicts what you'll earn this month by source with the confident range as well. So you can plan your allocations before the money arrives instead of reacting afterwards. And then, like I've stated, we also get dividend milestone alerts. So when your projected dividend income crosses a threshold, whether that's $50, $100, $250, $500 a month, Divider celebrates it with you with a shareable graphic that you can post directly to social media if you choose, because these moments deserve to be marked. And here's the first step if any of this resonates with you so far. The waiting list is open. Early adopters get in before the public launch. You all get to shape what gets built next and help make Divider the tool that this strategy actually deserves. So link is in the description. It takes 30 seconds to sign up. Go ahead and get on the list. So my mortgage was paid this month out of a brokerage account for the second month. Dividends are still compounding. My real estate pipeline is still building and pushing deals out. And now Divider is getting more sharper than ever, with plenty of room to grow, of course. But meanwhile, your money is still sitting in the bank, losing ground every single day. Now, this transformation is possible, and I'm showing that it's happening in real time every week. And the first step is the same as it's always been. Open the account, start with whatever you have, invest the percentage, let it compound, and that's it. Divider waiting list is in the description. For real estate inquiries, my link tree with all my contact info is there as well. And if this is your first video, go back to episode 1. Watch the whole journey. Then come back where I post new videos and updates every week. Investor forever. Let's build.